What is up, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic evening. 49ers just got cooked by the Rams. And if they bench Mac Jones at this point, it's lunacy. All right. Welcome back to Last Second Sports. We are giving you our take down to the last second, and it's the post-game rant. I got my guy David in the building. What's up, David?
Hey, man. It's November 9th here in Minnesota. The snow is falling. I've got my I'm getting ready. I got my camera lights out, so I got this kind of warm light going on here, my Knotty Pine. I've got my Des Moines, Iowa beer for Brock Purdy country. Brock Purdy on the bench country right there. Okay. And we're going to be talking about
that beer.
I'm going to bench it in my mouth. Pause.
Jeez. Wow. All right. Wow. Starting out strong here. Starting out strong, just like the 49ers defense. Love to see it. All right, David. We always start the show with random observations. What happened throughout the course of the game. So, we've got our topics that we'll get through, but just quick thoughts about the game, what you saw, random observations, game flow, whatever. Talk to me. Go wherever you want with it.
Random observation is the first drive was very reminiscent by the Rams of the Giants' first drive last week. The difference was the Giants aren't that talented of a team and weren't able to mount those drives time after time after time last week. Look, saw a lot of knee-jerk reactions about Robert Saleh. I think he's fair game. I think this defense is clearly what we talked about in the Houston game. This is a skeleton crew. It's becoming more of a skeleton crew every week. With Michael Williams out, it's a huge loss. It's a loss that's bigger because of all the other losses that preceded it. So this defense is running on fumes. And yes, the Rams offense is elite, but you're seeing more of what's going to come this year. And then Mac Jones just drive after drive after drive after drive keeps showing everybody. Tom Brady talked about how well he played all game. I mean, you have to quibble to find mistakes in his game. He's running this offense as well as you can. I know the last points are a little bit garbage time, but still, it's 26 points. The Rams didn't pull their starters. The Niners didn't pull theirs. He's doing what he has to do for this team to win games. But right now, it looks like it's going to have to be shootouts every game to win.
Yeah, I mean, I want to shout out Jake, who I did the Behind Enemy Lines with. He talked about this game in particular. There was going to be a lot of 13 personnel to look out for that. And that would be a difference maker in this game. He talked about how the Rams started to incorporate that since the last time they had played the 49ers. And he was right, man. That 13 personnel was an absolute killer because you can't go light, because if you do, they're just going to check to runs. And if you don't go light, then you've got guys like Gifford out there one-on-one with Ferguson. Not ideal by any means. Which then brings me to my next point. How bad is Nick Martin right now? Like, to not even get on the field, and you got guys like Gifford out there just being buns week after week. I don't understand it, man.
Like we need to talk about this. And look, we've regurgitated this show after show after show, post game after post game. The draft show, you, me, Marco, my face lit up when they drafted Nick Martin, and then my brain caught up with my face and said, "Oh my God, that's 4 rounds too early." Okay.
Yeah.
And clearly that's manifesting right now. And because we could talk to people that talk about roster politics, if roster politics were at play, Nick Martin would be playing right now. Because this linebacking crew is buns. This linebacking crew is the worst linebacking crew probably in the NFL. I don't even think it's remotely close. And Tatum Bethune, bless his soul, yeah, he can lay the hit, had a couple late hits, things like that. But he's not fast. He's not a sideline to sideline guy. He's not somebody you're going to be able to rely on to fill in that Dre Greenlaw role. And to have a third round pick at number 75, right in the middle of the third round, not even be able to sniff, be in healthy scratch is tough. Upton Stout, another third round guy that I thought was a 6th and 7th round prospect. He's getting toasted. I saw people talking about, well, we should double Puka Nacua. And what about Devontae Adams? And what about Kyron Williams? And what about Sean McVay's scheme that mismatches people on exchanges out there? And then you got Malik Mustafa on Devontae. It happens, right? Like, Sean McVay is on par with Kyle Shanahan in play design. And when you got a skeleton crew on defense that Robert Saleh is working with, it was only a matter of time before this was really going to go off the rails. And now you're seeing what this defense is going to look like against an elite offense, and it ain't good.
No, you're absolutely right. And this right here is going to speak to your heart, especially because of Jalen Noel. They took Martin over Jalen Noel and Cam Scatterbo. Definitely was a reach, shaking my head. Dude. Noel is your guy, man. You love Jalen Noel.
I love Jalen Noel, and I also was pounding the table for a guy named Torrey Horton. Now, he didn't go into the 5th round for a lot of NFL teams, the Seahawks, but I would have been more than comfortable taking a guy like Torrey Horton. And right now, if you look at the receiver room for the 49ers, again, a room that's absolute buns without Ricky Pearsall, without Brandon Ayuk. I mean, you've got 3rd and Juwan, 4.940. You've got Demarcus Robinson and Kendrick Bourne not understanding route concepts. It's a mess. I think that this team, we talk about the record. This team is, you are who your record says you are. That is BS. This team is 6-4. This is not a 6-4 team. Look, Mac Jones, I just want to say this. Jesse, if you would roll us back before the Saints week and you would look at our text threads, you and me, Marco, right? I am telling you, I was wrong about Mac Jones. I, of all people, sure, can absolutely tell you right now that Mac Jones is one of the, look, the other pieces in play, like George Kittle making a nice play of the pylon late, Brian Robinson doing the best he can with the limited carries that Kyle affords him because CMC has to be on the field come hell or high water. Mac Jones is the reason this team is 6-4. Mac Jones is because the fall off from Brock Purdy to the other replacement level quarterback was going to be pretty dramatic. And it actually hasn't been. Mac Jones has actually played better than Brock Purdy this year given the same weapons, given the same situations, given the same circumstances. So to me, Mac Jones has done everything he can to will this team to a spot where they can actually be competitive. They have been, but 6-4, guys, is a mirage. I'm just going to tell you can bookmark it. That's fine. They're going to win some more games. They're going to give you some hope. But this team is, when they go up against a team like the Rams, this is what it's going to look like in the playoffs. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, they are not coming back in that door. They're not. Okay. It's Michael Williams. And let's we're going to talk about this later. Deommodore Lenoir, a guy that a lot of you guys, a lot of fans think is elite, is not. He is a mediocre quarterback in the NFL. He is a standard fare, run of the mill guy. He is not a second contract, third contract type of guy. But that's where we're at. And when you think it's what you had, this is what it looks like in the secondary as well. And we saw that show up in the game today too.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Jaravon Jinx says, Jesse, I thought for a second you were going to start the post-game rant at halftime. I damn near did. I'll tell you that. When it was 21-0, I said game over, and that was it. And then people, it got a little kind of close for a drive, and people were at my neck. I do want to say this. First of all, there's 870 of you guys watching. 309 of you are on Twitter. I want to say this. I would highly, highly recommend coming over to the YouTube side if you are on Twitter. And here's the reason why. I am going to be giving away not one, but 2 rivalry jerseys tonight from Fanatics. And the only way you can win is to be in the chat when we do the giveaway. Giveaway will be around 8 o'clock-ish. We'll see, the flow of the show. But if you want your chance at a rivalry jersey, I'm giving 2 of them away courtesy of Fanatics, but you have to be in the YouTube chat.
Now Jesse, I'm checking my watch. It's November 9th. It's not Christmas. And I know there's a little gray in the top of your dome, but I don't see it in the beard as much, man. Jesse Claus is here giving these. So we got Nick Bosa. Is it both Nick Bosa?
I don't know who they're going to be. Fanatics will send them out randomly. Okay. But they will send you your size. So what will happen is the 2 winners are going to email me their size and their address. I will send that off to Fanatics, and then Fanatics will forward the jersey off. This is the jersey they gave to me. So I'm not a big jersey guy, but it's pretty dang sweet. I'm not gonna lie, for free. I mean, come on, you gotta take it. So
I'm hoping on Adrian Martinez. If I win, I want that Adrian Martinez rivalry jersey coming from Fanatics. I don't know if I'm eligible as the guest host here in postgame, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah, well, and the winner is my guest host. Hey, there we go. It wasn't rigged at all, I promise. All right, let's talk about this defense, because it was brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. 42 points given up. And, they had a 3-drive stop essentially where they did well. But outside of that, it was just Swiss cheese all over the place. I know there's a lot of injuries, David. I fully understand that. But do we believe that Robert Saleh deserves some criticism for the way that this defense played? And if so, where is it fair to criticize Robert Saleh for this defensive performance?
I think yes, and I hesitate to. This is the thing. I hesitate to get in the weeds on this, and I like to get in the weeds probably more than most people. I just feel that at this point.
Oh, let's not talk about the drugs that you take here, David. Jesus, come on, it's a family show.
No, I'm not morally opposed, but I don't. Believe it or not, as much as I might look maybe like I don't partake, but I will. I feel like quibbling about Robert Saleh right now is like missing the forest for the trees. I feel like there could be times where he doesn't give enough exotic looks, or then there could be times where it's like, okay, we're blitzing too much. Like you're looking at a guy like Matt Stafford. What are you doing? He's gonna carve you up. I think when you have the clientele that he's working with, you're pulling out all the stops. You're trying to, you can't stem the tide for the whole game. And when you saw that first drive, last week against Jackson Dart. They've been cobbling things together as well as they could with absolutely nobody. And I think I reiterated that when you asked me at the beginning of the show from jump, what's my first observation? My first observation is, my God, who are these people on defense? Like, if you were to, honestly, like the average fan, could you name who is our starting defensive line tonight? Sam Okwanu, Jordan Elliott, Bryce Huff, completely non-existent, by the way. Bryce Huff just engulfed all night tonight. Okay. That's not on Robert Saleh. Okay. Kalia Davis, who has been looking pretty damn good of late. But you go to the linebacker room of Luke Gifford, Tatum Bethune, Tig Brown, Malik Mustafa, who's still not quite 100% back and ready, Jason Pinnock. Guys like Upton Stout is getting put in a blender, and when he gets to go outside the numbers, his size differential is really bad. I just feel like, yes, Robert Saleh deserves criticism if we're going to do it objectively, but for me right now, look, it's the NFL, man. And when you got Sean McVay with Matt Stafford, Kyron Williams, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, I felt like the writing was on the wall going into this game. I know you did too. So look, at the end of the day, you're going to have schemes where you guys get mismatches in the end zone. That's Sean McVay is good at that. Kyle Shanahan's good at that. And it happened tonight. And what you saw today was just whatever could go wrong did go wrong, but the better team won. The better team executed.
Yeah, the Rams are the better team. I mean, they honestly should have beaten the 49ers.
100%.
It's a miracle that the 49ers won the first game. They're a much better team. And this is why I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. I just think they're absolutely stacked, and it showed out today. That being said, listen, the defense giving up 42 points is certainly much more on the injuries than anything else. I acknowledge that. But as far as criticism goes, I do think Robert Saleh deserves some. And one of my biggest pieces of criticism, I know that you said, hey, Lenoir's not anything special. And I don't necessarily disagree with that statement. But Lenoir is supposed to be your best corner. And if that is the case, you cannot go multiple third downs, multiple red zone plays where you get Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua without Deommodore Lenoir on either one of them. Either one of them. Like, the fact that they can just go in motion and then you're playing soft zone behind it and Lenoir doesn't travel or anything like that, like, to me, I feel like that's a mistake. That's something that he should probably look at correcting. Just a lot of soft zone. And I get it. Marco brings up a really good point, David, in our chat. And I want to highlight this. There is a lot of times where it's like, man, why don't you get more exotic? Why don't you, which I've said a lot, get more exotic, bring those simulated pressures, run more man. And Marco brings up a good point and says, hey, it's really hard to do that when you've got a lot of guys that are young.
Yep.
And a lot of guys that are not used to playing, because then that causes more confusion on the back end. And if you can't trust these guys to be where they need to be, then it's just much easier to play soft zone because everybody knows where to be on that standpoint. So I do understand that point. again, this defense being bad is much more on who's out there versus Robert Saleh. I do think Robert Saleh does deserve some criticism, though. He's certainly not perfect. Nobody is, and I'm not saying that he's trash. But let's talk about this, because I think the assumption at the beginning of the season was like, oh my gosh, Robert Saleh is going to get plucked in this coaching cycle, and they're only going to have him for a year. You got to take advantage of it. I never thought it was a guarantee that Robert Saleh would be gone after this year. I certainly don't believe it now. Do you think that Robert Saleh is gone at the end of the year, or do you think that they're going to have another year with Robert Saleh, in your opinion?
I mean, the only way he's gone after the year is if he's taking a head coaching position. And I just don't think in this day and age right now, I think with the dearth of quarterback play, just a scourge in the NFL, I still think at the beginning of the year, I thought, okay, Saleh's doing well enough. And I think a lot of that was just the recency bias of the excitement of the beginning of the season and things like that. I don't see Saleh necessarily being as hot of a head coaching candidate as a lot of people think. And I mean, I also go back to what you said about Lenoir. If he's your best cornerback, well, he's not your best cornerback. And if you're going in pure man-to-man situations, hands down, 100%, take that money to Vegas. Renardo Green is a better cover corner, and Diamador Lenoir should be playing inside, but they went with a 5'8" cornerback in the third round, Upton Stout, thinking that they've got the guy outside and by the way, Lenoir's contract isn't that bad. I mean, it's pretty affordable for if you think he's a number one corner, but right now he's not playing like a number one corner. He's playing like a guy that you're trying to hide. And it does feel that way. And in fact, today, Renardo Green, when given the opportunity in man situations against Devontae Adams, looked really good. And I think that it's just one of those things where I think that when you're counting on that guy being the dude and he's not really being the dude, it makes the defense even harder to execute. And I completely agree with you on about what Marco talked about, the lack of exoticism, so to speak. I mean, look, you get guys that are coming in green, you put them in a situation where they're going all gas, no brakes, like that. It's all gas forward and the guys are running past you. And I think that's one of those things that just, it is what it is. And I don't see it getting better, because I think there's going to be more attrition going through the year. I think these guys will get better reps and valuable to get them developing for the future. But this year is going to be putting guys in a lab, and they have to learn, they have to grow, and they have to take their lumps. And it's going to result in a lot of points being given up, I think, over the next several weeks.
Yeah, I would also like to point out, I think Lucas should probably be playing over Stout. I mean, I don't know. And again, is that going to mean, I mean, so maybe they score 35, then 42. I don't know. I'm not saying, again, these are all little pieces compared to the the injuries and whatever, but it is a piece of criticism. I want to address something real quick, because this gets brought up a lot. And I don't know if people know how aging works. But for some reason, a lot of people think I bleach my hair. It's gray hair, you fucking idiot. Dude. I'm 42. I have gray hair. I don't know what to tell you. And I get this comment all the time. Why do you bleach your hair? It's gray hair. This is my natural hair color. What do you want me to do?
I've been to the NFC Championship game with Jesse. I was just in Tampa with Jesse. He's old. Okay. Look,
I don't know what to tell you.
This
is my hair.
This MFer is old. He looks great, though, by the way.
I have a walker.
He's in great. No, you're in great shape. You just need some Just for Men. And by the way, that's next week. We got a new sponsor. My God, though, by the way, what is this with these people that think we're two guys north of 40?
I've never seen more people, more grown men care about somebody else's hair more than I do here. And so many people are like, oh, you bleach your hair. No, it's called gray hair. Have you never seen somebody with gray hair? It blows my mind. Blows my mind.
We're two men north of 40. We both have two kids. Okay. The economy's not great. We're going to have some gray hairs. The Niners are playing like this. We've been 31 years since the
Some
Super
of these
Bowl.
are from the Niners for sure. Yeah.
Anyway, these comments, I love it actually, because it never ceases to amaze me how little of a life any of these guys do. And of course, it's like these dudes with professional football players in their PFP. You'll knock yourself out, T-Dub.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a question I have. T-Dub, how old are you? Wait, I bet you're at least over 30 calling yourself T-Dub. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't, Do you wear backward hats still? Like, I don't know.
No,
Do you
hold on.
sag? I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it.
There ain't no way in hell anybody north of 30 is got Jerry Rice and Joe Montana as their PFP. Because I mean, stop it. God Lord, man. Like, just go on a date. Like, please, just go seriously, read a book, go check out. Hey, there's a great pizza place in Tampa called Lee's. We were just there. Go get some pizza there. Go have fun. Go like talk to some people.
Go to Lee's.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get the comment all the time and I don't ever address it, but it's like, my gosh, like it doesn't even look blonde. It's literally like silver. Are you colorblind? I'm confused.
I'm gonna be honest, man. You do look, if you look sexy, let's be real. Like, you do look like George Clooney with a part. Like, you're like with that goatee. Like, honestly, you're looking good. That's the whole problem. Is like there's a lot of just thirsty dudes in the comments right now. And just
are you saying T-Dub is thirsty? That's crazy.
T-Dub is a very thirsty dub.
All right. Boxing Fan Times 4 says, did safety become a priority for next season?
Should have been a priority.
There's a lot of holes on this team, David. Like, there's, I mean, let's go, honestly, like, let's go through it. Like, what does this team, in order to improve next year, I get it, injuries, what have you. What does this team need to improve next year? Like, they need receiver help. They need safety help. They need linebacker help. They need defensive line help. They need offensive line help. Like, they need running back help potentially. There's a lot this team needs in one offseason. It's going to be tough.
I'm just laughing because, like, I'm having fun. I honestly, this whole thing going back to the record, this whole somebody was lecturing about that you are who the record shows you are. Like, we're not. And that question is about the safety help. And then you asking me, what holes do we have? Guys, we've already gone through them. Our safety room is buns. Our cornerback room ain't good either. Our linebacker room is horrible, and we don't even know when Fred Warner's coming back next year. Our defensive line has no depth. We've lost Michael to ACL. We've left Nick Bosa to ACL. So our top two gone. YGM gone. Bryce Huff non-existent and gone. Rental. Defensive tackles are buns. Alfred Collins, who knows when he's coming back. This whole defense sucks. Like I mean, guys, like you need like 4 drafts to mend this defense and free agents. Like, it's not happening. You go on the other side of the ball. God knows what's coming out of the receiver room. When is Brandon Ayuk coming back? I don't know. Ricky Pearsall, God knows when. Like, this CMC completely fallen off a cliff, lost a step. # lost a step. Okay. Like, the idea, I mean, George Kittle ain't getting younger. Folks, this team is a lot of holes. And I know he's talking about defense, but this is why they didn't make a trade at the deadline. This is why Keon White was the only move they made. I think that they were telling you what we've been telling you for weeks, that this team is really, really far away from contending. Now, it can get closer by a handful of like really high impact players, good drafts, prudent use of funds and free agency. But boy, guys, I'm honestly you said 2026, Jesse. I've been saying for the last several months that this is 2027 and beyond. This team is not going to be ready to contend next year. You can bookmark that too. And there's nothing wrong with it, other than the fact that the only reason they're not able to contend in 2026 is because of the draft faux pas that have been happening for the last several years and the 3 first-round picks given up for Trey Lance that were just completely incinerated on a trade to Dallas Cowboys. I don't think that we're being realistic enough. And people say that I'm saying the sky is falling. No, this team was going to be competitive enough to try to back into the playoffs, and that's it, given the status quo. Ran over.
I want to bring this up because a lot of people, we've talked about this before. We said, hey, Huff is gone at the end of the year. And people, to be fair, the contract does say he's here next year. However, he has 0 guaranteed money.
And he sucks.
His salary cap hit is $17.1 million. And if they cut him pre-June 1st, they take $0 in a cap hit. He's most likely not going to be here next year.
And he's not good. Okay. So look, I like Bryce Huff a couple of years ago. You talk about # lost a step. Bryce Huff, some guys like they hit their cliff and it's gone. Like, it's just, so the question remains, you and I both, Jesse, were big time fans of the Niners not being stupid with giving up mortgaging future draft capital for band-aids that were aging vets anyway. They weren't going to move the needle for this team. Okay. Jalen Phillips wasn't going to move the needle for this team. Kayvon Thibodeau wasn't going to be available in a trade, right? Trey Hendrickson didn't get moved. Okay. Like, it's just this. Look, the way this defense played today, this is who the defense is going to be. No, there's no magic answer walking through the door at 49 Centennial in Santa Clara. Like, this is what it's going to look like.
They're not playing Stafford every week, and Stafford is playing at an MVP level. So, I mean, you're right. It is going to look a lot like this all year. It's just what quarterbacks are going to be able to actually take advantage of it. Not like the way that Stafford is. Luckily, they don't play, they're not playing like a murderer's row of quarterbacks down the stretch of the season. But it's going to be, there's a chance that it could be had. And this is the problem, David. And this is where, when they beat, who was it that they beat a few weeks ago? I said, hey, the Falcons. It feels like forever ago since they beat the Falcons. But I said, if this version of the 49ers is who we get, being able to stop the run and run the ball, they're going to be fine. But unfortunately, the version that we've gotten most of the season is they can't run the ball and they can't stop the run. And that's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe that says you're not going to be able to control the clock, and you're going to put this bad defense on the field for long stretches at a time, potentially. Like that is a possibility week in and week out, to your point. So, yeah, I mean, not only is it not a good defense, but because you can't run the ball and control the clock guaranteed week in and week out, you're going to put their back against the wall even more. And it's not good. It's not.
No, and we just got, we talked about that with Jonathan Taylor and the Colts, right? Like, makes that Colts defense look a lot better. We talked about that earlier today, right? And it's like, this is I'm having a lot of fun watching this 49ers offense play because of Mac Jones. I'm going to be honest with you, and me saying that live in front of eventually thousands of people that see this, if you would have told me on September 7th that I'd be saying this on November 9th, I literally would have told you were insane. Yeah. And so for me to say that, and there's receipts to back up the fact that I did not believe in Mac Jones. I thought Mac Jones would be an absolutely replacement level backup. I didn't think he'd be like a replacement level starter, right? Like he is. And so given that fact, I don't know. Even if Brandon Ayuk comes back, even if Ricky Pearsall comes back, which, by the way, Jess, like, are we sure that's happening?
Listen, Ricky Pearsall has a PCL tear, right?
Oh, yeah.
We just don't know if it's level 1, 2, or 3. If it's level 1, it's a 2 to 6 week injury. This is week 6. He should be back next week, but he hasn't practiced at all. So I don't know that that's a guarantee. If it's a level 2, it's a 10 to 12 week injury, which means he's out another 3, 4, 5 weeks potentially.
Yep.
It's not a level 3, or at least I would think not, because that requires surgery and you're out 6 months. But make no mistake about it, like, he's torn that PCL to a certain extent. We just don't know the level because the 49ers are never honest. And the 49ers didn't put him on IR because of the optics. They didn't want to make it look as if this guy's got, an injury prone. If we would have known right away that he was going to miss a minimum of 4 weeks, fans would have freaked out. Because he hasn't been able to stay healthy to this point. And so they, for optics sake, keep saying week to week, he's making progress. Oh, he's running. He's got to get up to speed. Like, we keep hearing this, but we keep hearing this with him and Brock, and both of them, I don't care what anybody says. They knew for sure that these guys were out a minimum of 4 weeks. They knew. But for optics sake, you got one guy who's your franchise quarterback who signed a massive deal. You don't want to put him on IR, especially because it could make you look bad potentially for putting him out there too early against Jacksonville. And you don't want to do that with your first round pick who's been injured every training camp, every OTA, everything, because you don't want to make it look like you might have a bust on your hands. So optics wise, like, well, next week, maybe this week, maybe. That's the reason that they did that. I'm convinced that is 100%. The case. It's all a PR machine.
Oh, 100%. And that's what the 49ers do. I mean, I had somebody on the TL today like, I thought David Lombardi was a mouthpiece for the 49ers. And what was Adam Schefter? I said, David Lombardi's a shill for the 49ers. He is not a guy that the 49ers launder messaging through, right? And the 49ers with John Lynch having his Hall of Fame player and Hall of Fame media launderer. Like that's what John Lynch does best. And like this is all about. And by the way, we're going to talk about this one too. Brock Purdy. There's another guy who's injured. Yet every week it's like, oh, he's practicing, and oh, he's going to be the emergency backup. But and then he's inactive game day. Guys, they're not bringing Brock Purdy back.
You don't think so?
This week, no. And I'm going to get bookmarked into the fifth dimension on this. I feel.
Let's do it.
No. I'm going to say I feel very strongly that this could be different because the 49ers have always been a team. Kyle Shanahan, I love Kyle Shanahan, and I think Kyle, it's been pretty clear that doesn't have the best track record with not rushing guys back from injury. And and a lot of coaches do this, right? They look at these players as disposable. They're cogs in a machine. I get it. Mac Jones has played. This is not hyperbole. He's played really well. He's played incredibly well. Mac Jones has played like a starting NFL quarterback, a good starting NFL quarterback. Again, if Mac Jones is playing with a skeleton crew as well. George Kittle just came back, right? CMC guys, hashtag lost a step is a real hashtag. Like the brother does not. What did he do today? I didn't even look at the box score. What did he get today? I'm
2.5 yards per carry, I think.
Was that what it was?
While his counterpart had 5.3 or whatever,
2.5, yes. 12 carries for 30 yards. He got his 8 catches for 66 yards, which is pretty standard for a running back. But for him, it wasn't one of those big, guy. He again, volume fantasy guy. Like this is week in and week out. He hasn't had an outlier game. He hasn't had any game that's like, oh my God. Like it's every single week like this.
He had one against if you take the Falcons game out of it, he's averaging like 3.2 yards per carry.
Oh, he's
literally one game is getting up to like 3.5. One game. That's it.
Okay. But today, for the first time, Brian Robinson actually had a sample size that was commensurate to CMC and outplayed him. And what we've been seeing, we're like, oh, wait a minute. And I've been talking about it. Brian Robinson doesn't have a sample size big enough to say that. And CMC will forever be the better player than Brian Robinson. But in this inflection point, in this moment right now, near the end of the game, they kept Brian Robinson in short yardage. They kept him in when he was the hot hand for the first time. And you almost saw the gears clicking. I saw Isaac Guerrero sitting on the sideline with his helmet on. Why you got your helmet on? Kyle's not putting you in. Okay. So like this idea, to go back with Brock, though, I firmly believe that Mac Jones has played so well. He is looking healthier. His pocket mobility, again, my guy Splash Cousin, Jordan Elliott, back from my 49ers GM days. We talked about this back in the day. We used to chat about this off the TL all the time, he and I, about how when we were all getting excited for the 2021 draft, and Mac Jones, one of his underrated abilities, I remember Jordan talked to me about this ad nauseum, was his ability to sidestep pressure, those little nuances of pocket mobility. Pocket mobility does not equate to mobile quarterback, right? Mobile quarterback is RG3s, right? Your guys like that. Pocket mobility is the ability to evade pressure, to buy yourself time, to make a play from the pocket or outside of the pocket. Okay. And Mac Jones has been showing that week after week after week. He did it today multiple times. He did an excellent job of that on the Luke Farrell touchdown today. And his knee, which was also a PCL issue, is getting better. He looks a lot more spry. Knock on wood. They're not going to bench him. If you took Mac Jones' number off his jersey, if you took his nameplate off his jersey and put Purdy on there, 49ers fans would want him to be playing. Period. How can you sit there and say the best player, honestly, one of the best players on this offense right now is Mac Jones, and you're going to say, yeah, let's sit him? Because Brock Purdy has earned the right. Brock Purdy earned the right to come back against Jacksonville, was allegedly healthy and was sailing balls left and right. Are we certain that that's not going to happen again? Are we really positive that he's fully healthy? Because he can't even be active on game days. And all of a sudden next week, we're ready to roll? I don't buy that. I think the 49ers know that he's not all the way back. But I think they realize that if he's even 75% back, they are going to go for Mac. That's my hot take. And I don't even think it's a hot take. I don't think Brock comes back soon. I really don't.
7 games this season, CMC has averaged 3.2 yards per carry or less.
Yep.
Less.
Horrible.
1, 2, 3 games he's averaged less than 3 yards per carry. Do you know how many games Brian Robinson's had at least 5 carries in where he's averaged 3.2 yards or less? He's had 5 games that he's had at least 5 carries. You know how many of those games he's averaged 3.2 yards or less?
All of them. I mean, I thought more. None. I thought you said there were more. None. Yeah.
No. Yeah, none of them. Not a single one of them.
Right.
So, does Brian Robinson get better blocking, better play calling? Yeah. Again, CMC is still a really good player. It was never he's washed. That was never the thing. It was always, especially in the passing game, he's a weapon. He's going to continue to be that because he gets two-way goes and he's a good route runner. He's got good hands. But as a runner, CMC has clearly lost a step. Clearly.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can't see it at this point, I don't know what to tell you.
Guys,
now, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, but also, Jesse, to prove your point, CMC's also this dynamic pass catcher. And Tom Brady was kind of giving a dig at the Niners a little bit because he was like, "Oh, we've been talking to him in the pregame in the week building up. Bobby Turner's like, oh, I never want to take him off the field because he's such a good receiver." And Tom's like, "Yeah, but maybe you can't." And this idea that Brian Robinson is not the receiving threat, so when he's in the backfield, defenses typically probably have a tell where he's not being used as a decoy or as a pass catcher. And so I have to go back and look at like what type of boxes that Brian Robinson's been looking at. But like you said, these offensive linemen just magically block better for him, even though they know that he's probably getting the ball and he's still averaging today, doubling up on yards per rush. That makes no sense. And it doesn't
today was a great example of that. CMC at one point had, I think it was 8 carries for like 20 yards.
Yeah.
And Robinson had 8 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like what?
Anyways,
not to mention the miles per hour thing, which is irrefutable evidence. Like it's so obvious. People just don't want to hear it, but whatever.
Go back to the first half, the 4th down and 1 play. Look, the tight end there, I can't remember if it was Farrell or if it was Tonjes. I think it might have, I can't remember. It was, he had the block and then he didn't sustain it completely, but he had the block long enough to hold up the defensive end. That's got to be a play that if you've got that 2023 juice, which we know he doesn't, and fans seem to say agree with us that he doesn't, well, that's what lost a step means. In that situation, the guys crashed in on the right side. So they had defenders crashing and they were letting them crash in on the right side. They had faith in CMC to say, hey, man, all this tight end has to do is hold this block. And you can't. And by the way, it's a big ask for a tight end to hold a block on a defensive end. Like you're not going to pancake him in that situation as a receiving tight end. And then all of a sudden, CMC just has to get the edge and boom, get that ball out, and he can't do it. He can't do it. He has to have space. He has to have wheel routes. He has to have schemed out bubble screen. He's not. What's his long run this year? 16 yards.
Yeah, if it's funny because if you look at the top 10 running backs in rushing or in yards this year, his yards per carry and his long run are comical. Like, it just doesn't belong because all these guys have like at least one carry of 40 plus yards. They're averaging like 4.5 yards per carry or more, and then you got CMC. It's like long run 16, 3.4 yards per carry. It's like,
isn't even. One of those long runs was like one of those Mac truck holes that like Saquon Barkley last year, he's had a little bit of a fall off because their offensive line legitimately has kind of taken a little bit of they've taken a couple steps back. So Saquon Barkley is awesome, but a lot of his play last year was that offensive line was ridiculous. And when those were Mac holes, Mac truck holes, that's awesome. You don't get to catch, but Saquon's got that juice to boom, go. CMC has a Mac truck hole and his long run is 16 yards, folks. Guys, just nobody is saying he's garbage, but my God, after week 10, if the Niners don't have a bye into week 14, we've had a 10-game sample size. We're over halfway through the season. He ain't going to get faster. He ain't going to get more explosive. He's not going to hit the fountain of youth, right? Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know either. We're going to do the jersey giveaway here in a bit, but first we do have to hear from our sponsor. Sleeper, use promo code LSS to get a 100% deposit match of up to $100. You also can get a free $20 play without even making a deposit if you use promo code LSS. Link is pinned to the top of the description, so make sure you check them out. All right, brother. Minnesota. This is so apropos. You being from Minnesota, you're a Timberwolves fan.
Hold up.
Hey, that was really unplanned and hilarious. That's so funny. That was unplanned and hilarious, David. That was awesome.
This legit was unplanned. I've got like 5 hats here because I'm so vain. I was trying to look what hat looked best with my sweet shirt, my favorite t-shirts, the mountains.
Well, that might work.
Sun.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, this is it. Let's go.
That might be it. Well, listen, Anthony Edwards just needs anything in the stat sheet and we win. So we'll take that one. Do we want Justin Herbert more or less on 25.5 rushing yards? We can go Aaron Rodgers, 215 passing yards, more or less. DK Metcalf touchdown. Anything here that you're seeing that you like?
We're going Oronde Gadsden because I'm starting him in my guillotine league tonight over Kamani Vidal. I'm putting him in the flex over the running back. I think Gadsden is going up against a really bad zone defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. I think he's going to eat it up. I think he's going to stuff the box score. I'm doing this because I'm manifesting it and I need it to happen, or I might be going home this week in the Guillotine League, despite being the #1 projected team. We're going Gadsden. Smash the over.
Okay, we're taking it. We're going more on Gadsden. Justin Herbert's running a lot. I got to go more on him.
Okay.
And I feel like DK is almost a lock for a touchdown every week at this point. Like, are we? Actually, TJ Watt half sack against this offensive line. Yeah, it's too juicy, right?
Yeah,
we got to go with that.
Take it.
Okay. We're doing it. Okay, here we go. We're gonna enter that. We're doing $10 on it. You can tail us or fade us, but that's 76 on a $10 play.
I love it.
We got 5 minutes to cancel it, but we always let it ride.
I love it.
Either way, use promo code LSS. All right, let's get back to it, man. We got a lot of super chats here, and we got some topics we want to get through before we get out of here. All right, Alex Maya says, first, why bring Valdez up and have him inactive? Second, why is B-Rob on the sidelines after a great running drive? Shaking my head, bro. Well, we were talking about the running backs. I agree with that one. I don't know. Also, though, I do want to say this. There's a lot of players, just random players that are either not good or mid at best that we fall in love with because random person at training camp said that they were good. And so there's a lot of people like, oh, Valde, I mean, just the training camp. Remember what people said? We do this every year.
Yep.
Maybe he is okay. I don't know. But don't fall in love with a player because somebody at training camp said that they're amazing.
Oh, like Drew Moss?
It just like Drew Moss and every other bad offensive lineman, Connor Colby, and who was the center that was drafted out of Arizona that never made the team. It's just every single year. So listen, I don't know. Keith Murphy, the unbeaten. What's up, buddy? He says, Jesse, that was brutal, but expected. I don't know if I expected that. I did expect to lose, but geez.
I did.
Tommy says safeties can't cover a toilet seat. Keith says 6-4 because of the schedule. Next 4 games: Cards, Titans, Panthers, and Browns. Very manageable schedule. It is a manageable schedule, but I don't look at the 49ers team as a team that you can just assume wins on a schedule. They're just not that. They're not good enough for that, in my opinion. Maybe the Titans, but Cards, Panthers, and Browns, I don't know.
So hold up. The Seahawks are playing out of their mind right now. And a lot of that was, though, they had some 2 relatively anomalous defensive touchdowns that kind of added insult. And all of a sudden, it was just like one of those things, whatever could go wrong. Murphy's Law, like with the Cardinals. The Cardinals are playing better with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. The Niners have traditionally always had the Cardinals be a bugaboo, and they're going to have to go to Glendale and play them in Arizona. I don't look at that as a gimme whatsoever.
Although they lost Walter Nolan today. That was a quick fun game.
Yeah, that's not good. But the other games, though, I mean, Titans and Panthers are going to be at home. Those, I mean, look, no matter how well Rico Dowdle
those should be wins.
Those should be wins. And then Cleveland, look, I watched that game against the Jets today. Dylan Gabriel looks like absolute buns. Like I'm sorry, like
Dylan Gabriel's awful.
Horrible.
Shore Sanders needs to be playing. What are
horrible?
They doing?
And so, like, yes, you're right. I mean, I think that to be fair, to be fair, regardless, like, yeah, on paper, I won't be surprised to see the Niners favored in every single one of these games in Vegas, right? Like, I get that. And if that happens and they go out and win those, and all of a sudden you're 10-4, they're doing all right, like, obviously. But I think that, again, these are NFL teams. Every single one of these teams has played some other teams tighter than you might think. And 2 of these games are on the road. And one of them is on November 30th in conditions that could get iffy out there on Lake Erie. So we'll just see how it goes. I'm not saying any of those are gimmies, but I think that, yeah, the Titans game of all of them should be.
For sure. The Browns game, to me, I had as a loss before the season. I still think it could very well be. First of all, Schwartz never loses to Shanahan. Shanahan always struggles against him. The weather's going to be who knows what. We do know that the defense at times can rise to the occasion. And it's the 13th week of playing in a row, and that's a lot of football. So, right before a bye week, traveling, I'm just saying, I don't think that that's a gimme by any means. But yes, it is favorable for sure. And actually, on that note, let's talk about this real quick, because right now the 49ers are 3-1 in the division, which is great. However, they're 2 games in the loss column behind the Rams and the Seahawks. Now, the Rams and the Seahawks play each other next week. That means one of them is for sure going to win. I mean, I guess a tie could happen, but most likely one of them for sure wins. Even if the 49ers beat the Cardinals, they're still 2 games back in the loss column. So the division is going to be almost impossible to win at this point. It just is.
Yep.
Add that to the fact that now the 49ers are the 8th place team in the NFC. They are no longer, if the playoffs started today, they would not be a playoff team.
Yep.
Now, luckily, they play the Bears. That could be what decides who gets the 7th seed. We'll see how that plays out. But, like, there's no guarantee that the 49ers are going to make the playoffs at this point. Do you agree with me that the NFC West is almost a foregone conclusion that the 49ers are not going to win that at this point?
Yes. Do I think that, like, aside from any type of injury attrition for both of those teams and the bottom falling out on, like I said, anything can happen in that regard.
It would happen to both teams. That's the problem. We need both of them to falter.
And both of these teams, guys, are playing incredibly well. Again, week 1 is not a barometer for how you judge a team. And yes, the 49ers won on the road, a game where Brock Purdy should have thrown 4 and maybe even 5 interceptions and had nothing to do with his injury. Okay. That game, the Seattle 100% should have won that game. And guarantee, but that's not the way that life works. Shoulda, woulda, coulda doesn't pay the bills, right? Somebody's got to win. The 49ers showed the grit, the grimy game. But we've talked about this in the post-game shows. The Niners have won really tight games, and sometimes that is a little bit of luck. And I think what we're seeing today confirms that. Okay. When you're playing a really good team, this is what the 49ers are going to do, given the skeleton crew of their defense and what they have at their disposal. So Seattle and LA, guys, like, these are really good teams. Like, hey, to me, the Seahawks and the Rams, you could get away with saying those 2 are the top 2 teams in the NFC right now.
Literally nobody said this. I don't know what you were listening to, but not a single person said this.
Well, complaining
about CMC. Let's bench one of the best players that we literally never even mentioned.
Let's bench CMC. I'll say it. I'll say it.
Straw man's, yeah.
So I want the straw man to come to life. You heard me say it. Dave Lichty said it. Bench CMC. He's a scrub. He's washed up. He's a horrible football player.
You might as well say it, David, because you're going to get accused for saying it anyway. So you're better off saying it.
He goes to Salvation Army, and their little red, the kid, he puts like dog poop bags in there. Like, you got to watch out for him. He's just not a good person. More people we should protest.
Cheeto says, I was actually surprised with our offense. It would have been nice to see the defense make a stop, though. Would have made a much more funner game to watch. Let's talk about this, too. I mean, why not? Why keep Mac Jones in, even if Purdy's healthy? As good as that game was from Mac, 2 drives to start the game were absolutely cooked because of Juwan Jennings' awful play.
Yep.
Juwan Jennings had a drop, although, could have been PI. Maybe if he dropped, what have you. For sure, though, he had a fumble when they were at least in field goal range. That was absolutely awful. Now he caught the touchdown, so of course, everybody wants to praise him again. But ultimately, Juwan Jennings was responsible for ending 2 of those drives, and both of them were promising. So Mac Jones did a phenomenal job leading this offense. The only thing I can say about Mac Jones, and again, we're talking about a backup quarterback, certainly not perfect. Mac Jones has been really good in 2-minute drives. Today, not so much. That was at the end of the half. That was the worst execution I've seen from him in a 2-minute drill. Now we can say that there was possibly a pass interference that was a no call towards the Juwan Jennings play. I don't know, but other than that, that's really the only thing that I could complain about Mac Jones about. That was it, and that's being nitpicky.
Well, and going back to Juwan Jennings, that play that could have been PI. We're talking about Emmanuel Forbes, who was my CB1 coming in the draft. I always, and Guy Marco, other people talk about this because he was so slender out of Mississippi State, but he's such a good player. And honestly, he's playing better than Diamador Lenoir right now for the Rams. But when you're as small as he is, and Jennings is known to be that dog, that guy that's going to be boxing people out, to have Emmanuel Forbes bodying you. But guess what? That's what's been happening the last several weeks. It wasn't even a 50-50 ball, but he loses, if you want to call it a 50-50 physicality situations, he's getting 50'd out. He's getting eked out every single time, and that's not, and he just doesn't seem like, you see him afterwards, you don't see that fight. You don't see that kind of spirit. You don't see I don't know, man. Jennings is something right now.
Yeah, man. To your point, Emmanuel Forbes playing well. Good cover corner.
Yep.
Not really known for his physicality.
No.
So for Jennings to get out physicaled by him multiple times is a bit off.
Right.
Because that's what Jennings is supposed to bring to the table.
Yep.
So PGZ says, I'm here for the rivalry jersey. Don't tell B-Dog. Seahawks fan. He's just trying to get his hands on a jersey. You love it. GTC Real says, lack of pass rush. DB's exposed. It's tough to cover for that long, man. It really is. It's tough. Go Jaravon Jinx says, how about the well-coached Rams? 0 penalties. Yeah, they were... Some of them, I get it. I think you're trying to point out maybe there was some iffy non-calls or whatever, but either way, they're just the better team today.
Hey, guess how many times Mac Jones was sacked today? Speaking of pass rush.
Once?
0.
0? Oh, okay.
So again, this is St. Louis Rams defense is pretty damn good. And again, Mac Jones just keeps getting sacked way fewer times than 49ers fans expect him to be, because they think he has feet that are made of bricks, the cinder blocks. But yet somehow, some way, with this offensive line that allegedly is god awful for most 49ers fans, Mac Jones just doesn't get sacked that many times.
Did Javon Kinlaw punch a ref today?
Javon Kinlaw punched a ref today? Yes.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Javon Kinlaw started talking smack to Jared Goff down 25 points. Yes, Javon Kinlaw did that.
Yeah, well.
Javon Kinlaw also did some crazy stuff at the University of South Carolina that they kept under wraps.
That nobody talked about, yeah.
But if you ever want to have a conversation with me, we could do that off the TL.
Matthew says, what's up, Jesse? Rams fan and Jake follower. After being a fan and your rival for 45 years, I think this is the best rivalry in football. All respect. And MJ is the guy, and Kittle is a beast. Go Rams. Matthew, I appreciate you for tapping in. Congratulations to you and your Rams. And we really appreciate you over here at Last Second Sports. RS says, my B-Day is 11:15. Vote for me to win the jersey. Well, you're going to have 2 chances at it coming up soon, brother. You're going to have 2 chances at it. Dis Brother Bob says, yeah, that was horrible. But why not run B-Rob more?
Hey, man. Hey, Brother Bob, Kyle doesn't play people until he has to. And I think Kyle kind of started oh, man, B-Rob's running off. He's racking up yards here. It almost got to keep him in the game. And again, the only reason I texted Jess is that he is averaging 5.1. But one of his runs was from the 1 yard line. So that's all he could get is that 1 yard touchdown run. So it would have been even higher after breaking that tackle. So it's look, he's also fresh. He doesn't have any tread on his tires. Like he's just,
yeah.
I don't know.
SoCal Ram says, BTA bang. What's up, Jesse? Much love. Appreciate you, man. Congratulations to your Rams for sure. Poppy says, Bennett stated that the Patriots players thought Jimmy G was a B for not playing through injuries. I believe Purdy is doing the same now that he's got his money. I don't know. I'm not in his body. I'm not going to accuse him of that. I do find it very fishy that he's practiced 3 weeks in a row and has found a way to not suit up. Maybe that's a soft benching. Maybe that's Purdy. I don't know. Brother Bob says 2 weeks in a row, Jesse, with the F-bombs. It's real. Right? Tito says, rock that gray hair, brother. You look better than most of us 40-year-olds. Okay, I'm 39, but the military has aged me like crazy, especially after 20 years. I get it, man. I wish I looked younger too, but such is life. It is what it is. Poppy Mark says Lenore is not that elite guy. Dude is all talk. Well, he is an elite talker. I will say that. I think he's a fine player. I don't think he's elite by any means.
He's just fine.
A lot of people were mad that he was ranked like 23rd corner coming into the preseason. It was like, it's about right by PFF, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not even that this year. Like he's not. If there's 32, I can't imagine where and a PFF isn't the be all end all. But guys, I'm dead. Like in pure cover situations, outside, I'm taking Renardo Green, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know if I disagree with that. Cameron says, "What's wrong with wearing backwards hats?" I know maybe I went a little too far with the backwards hat thing. I feel like there's some things that you shouldn't do at a certain ages. Colin Cowherd hates the backward hat with quarterbacks, at least. There it is. There it is, David. Perfect.
Oh,
Cryptic
God.
says,
yeah, that looks horrible. Yeah. It does look horrible.
Right? At this age? Cryptic says, feels with the rotation of the D-line that the pressure isn't there. The offense, for the offense to worry. Honestly, it's been like this for a while. Bosa can't be the only one. Yeah, it has been sporadic at best. I won't disagree with that. And it's not necessarily a Bosa injury thing, but it's way worse without Bosa. Lacan says, defensive rookies have not improved. They look lost every single game. I don't know if I disagree with this. I mean, Collins has improved, but that's about it.
But he wasn't playing today.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Keith says, watching Huff and Greenlaw play well for Denver kind of hurts. We are not a factor in the NFC this year. One and done in the playoffs is our best outcome. I agree with that. I don't know about Greenlaw. Huff has been playing really, really good football, though.
I think it's really also good. Nice, when you're playing in a defense that already has a lot of pieces. I think that also affords Huff to kind of be at his best. And I think that's when he was healthy, playing in a strong defense is really, where he could be kind of Johnny on the spot is exactly what he needs to be. But yeah, that idea of one and done, if they don't win the division, guys, they're not hosting the playoff game. So yeah,
I agree. Listen, we're going to do this jersey giveaway shortly. I've got 616 of you watching on X. I highly recommend coming to the YouTube side of the house. That's the only way you're going to have a chance to win. So this is last call for alcohol. If you want a chance to win one of the two jerseys, then come over and watch it on YouTube. Brother Bob says, welcome to the White Whiskers crew, you old fart. Hey, chill out, all right?
Not me.
Lacan says, Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, you're good. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch draft misses are finally showing. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it is showing. Absolutely. And they've had a lot. Round 2 and 3 specifically. Brother Bob says, piss, I can't blame Moody for this. F it. Or yeah, F Moody. Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you. It would be nice to blame Jake Moody. Javid says 49ers used to have high standards, winning Super Bowl. Standards have been lowered. Eddie DeBartolo would have fired Kyle Shanahan a long time ago. Yeah, he probably would have. I don't disagree with that. This one's tough. I mean, I go back and forth on the Shanahan thing. Sometimes I hate him. Sometimes I love him. I don't know.
Eddie DeBartolo, as much as I love him too, also played in an era with no salary cap. I can't not say that, as much as I loved the nostalgia of it. And as much as I loved like his willingness to kind of move off of something and not have anybody be a sacred cow. I think that it needs to be said. It's not an apples to apples way of building a roster and building a roster longitudinally.
I don't disagree with that. GTC Real says, and Mac went up against a decent Rams defense twice. He cooked this Rams defense. He played really well both games against the Rams. Very, very impressive. RS says, bench CMC, start Juice at halfback. We won't lose another game.
I like the way this guy thinks. In fact, guys, hold up. I'm gonna do RS one better. Bench Mac Jones. Put Juice in at quarterback. He went to Harvard. He went to Harvard.
He's a
he
smart
went
guy.
to Harvard. He's smart. Bench Trent. Put Juice in at left tackle. He's tough.
Mm-hmm.
The kids
He's
like
really
saying,
a Swiss Army knife. Yeah.
Yeah. The kids. I'm a high school teacher. The kids these days, they like saying that. Tough.
Yeah.
A lot.
Tough.
I think Juice is tough.
Yeah.
Juice is tough. I mean, what is he like? I mean, there's probably like 6 or 7 like different positions he could take over. You know, did you just miss that reference?
I did. No, I definitely saw it. I caught the whole thing. Yep, I caught it.
I'm explaining my own joke.
Yeah. No. You don't. If you have to explain it, David, it's not.
Can we go to
funny.
the jersey giveaway, please?
Yeah. I wish I had the crickets thing on my soundboard here. GTC Real says Bourne vanishes from the offense for JJ targets. Yeah, it's true. And it started to happen in the Bucs game, unfortunately. Yep. GTC Real says, Jesse, if just for men is good enough for Aaron Rodgers, it's good enough for you. Like these extra flooring up the wall is more efficient than our defense. I like what you did there. David's not even listening, but that's still funny.
Well, I did. I was just adjusting my channel to make sure I had the Chargers game so I could see Gadsden smash the over for us.
All right. Yeah, there we go. I love it. He's always locked in, folks. Brother Bob says, GTC, leave the wall flooring alone. It's unique. Hey. I love it. Hey, you chill out there. Get off his lawn.
Is that what I missed?
Yes. They're both talking about your wall flooring. Yeah.
Hey, no. You know what? This is Knotty Pine. All right. I live in northern Minnesota where every living room looks like this. And it's not like by the way, you know what? One of these days next week, I'm going to come. I'll be ready for this. I'm going to show you the rest of the flooring in my estate here. Right. Lake Superior is just 2 blocks over that way. And right now, don't you want to I mean, look at this. I got my blanket right here. Here we go. Look at this. Isn't this nice? Isn't this a nice, warm?
You know what you need, David? You need one of those knitted blankets that are orange, brown, and white. Yeah. Oh, no, not quite. Not quite. You know what I'm talking about. They're like hand crocheted. They're orange, brown, and white. Every grandmother had them. It was like a throw blanket.
Yeah.
It smelled like pee always for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know. That's I think we need to go off the air for that one. But I think that, I'll have a pee smelling blanket for next week. We'll smell it through This is really, I'm sure we're gaining a lot of viewers at this point, an hour and 3 minutes in.
Yeah, listen, they should be sticking around for this jersey giveaway. Keith says, that being said, I feel the team is playing hard every game, and I feel like the resilience, and I like the resilience of this group. I agree. They never stop fighting. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree that they're playing tough every game. That's why I like this team. And I think a lot of that is Mac Jones, honestly. I mean, the way that he's played through injury and is out there, I think that's a big deal. Alex Goodnight, very good name. Became a member. Appreciate you. And Brother Bob says, I held back, but Purdy is better than Josh Allen. We saw that today for sure. He definitely is, especially when he doesn't play. He's better than a lot of quarterbacks. I do want to say shout out to Alex for becoming a member. Anybody who's a member will have access to the show with Coach Grant and I. So if you're a member on my channel, Coach's channel, Grant's channel, that's like the extra thing that we're doing for members. We're doing a show that is available only to members. So definitely check that out. All right. It is time. It is time to do a giveaway. I've got a wheel behind stage that StreamYard does. Makes it very, very easy for me. So what I need you to do in the chat is type in hashtag Fanatics. Fanatics is going to be giving away 2 jerseys tonight. Alex, appreciate you for becoming a member. Fanatics is going to be giving 2 jerseys away tonight. Not just jerseys, but rivalry jerseys. We're going to be doing 3 more week 18, by the way, when we play Seattle. So make sure you're there. You can type hashtag Fanatics as much as you want. I'm going to give everybody a minute to do so. I'm going to spin the wheel. It's going to pull every hashtag and then randomly pull a winner. I'll tell you who the winners are. So everybody should be doing hashtag Fanatics. This is how you're going to enter to win a jersey. By the way, and this is not because they're sponsoring and giving these jerseys away. This is real talk. A lot of people talk about my hats. All of my hats, except for I think 1 or 2, are from Fanatics. Like, I've always bought from Fanatics. Always. In fact, every Christmas, I send you something, David. I send Sunil something. I appreciate you guys for doing shows with me. Always Fanatics. And that is real. Before they ever reached out, I've been a big fan of Fanatics. You guys should be too, because they are giving these jerseys away tonight. All right, I'm going to spin the wheel. Let's see what we got. All right. Got 45 entries, 47. I'm going to let it get up to 50, and then I'm spinning this thing. All right, we're over 50. Here we go.
Wow, here we go.
Come on. Wow, this is a slow play. My guy, Zach Bowen winning the jersey. Zach, are you in here? Where's it at? Where's he at? Where is he at? I thought I saw him in here. All right. All right. Shout out. That's 1 jersey. That's 1 jersey. We got another one. Your entries still count. So every entry you put in still counts. Every entry still counts. Keep putting hashtag Fanatics. 1 jersey given away. It goes to my guy, Zach. That's awesome. I'm actually really happy for Zach, because Zach's been amazing supporter of this channel for a long time. Keep putting hashtag Fanatics. All right, we got 1 more. We got 1 more. We got 1 more. All right. Oh, I'm going to redo this here real quick. I have to reset it, so bear with me. Hashtag Fanatics. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're drawing. NBH. NBH is our second winner. NBH is our second winner. Okay, so here we go. So Zach and NBH, here's what I need you to do. I'm going to put it in the chat. Let's see. I'm going to put my email in the chat. I need you to, within 24 hours, or I'm going to choose a new winner tomorrow. 24 hours, NBH Zach. You have 24 hours to email me at contactjessie, JESSIELSS, at gmail.com, your jersey size and your address. I'm going to forward that off to my contacts over at Fanatics, and they will email you a jersey in your size. It'll be a rivalry jersey. I don't know who the player will be. It's random. Okay. Contact Jesse LSS. I just put it in the chat. NBH and Zach. If neither of you, or if one of you doesn't claim this within the 24 hours, I will give your jersey away tomorrow. So you're here in the chat. You see it. Now's the time. All right, David. I think that means it is about time to go. We got Alex coming in as a new member. Zach, appreciate you with the super sticker. And then RS comes in and says, I'm demanding a recount. Hashtag start juice. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, guys, have a blessed night. David, thank you so much for joining me. That's it. 49ers lose. Big loss as far as division implications. They are now 8th in the NFC standings. We will see how this week goes. I'll be back tomorrow with Coach. Have a blessed night. We'll talk soon. Much love. Peace.